Hi, Harry from Fog of War here. Here's another studio update for the Fog of War studio construction. I think this is number 4 or 5, but I'm sure I'll work that out. So here you are, and you can see there's actually been quite a lot of changes here in the studio. I've gotten to know the studio quite well because I was stuck in here for 16 days when I had COVID over Christmas and New Year. So that was always a bit of fun. So yeah, I was actually living in here, but there's been quite a bit done. Luckily, from when I was confined in here, the air conditioning had gone in. So I got a big Mitsubishi air conditioner split system, 3.5 kilowatts of cooling and 3.7 kilowatts of heating. So hopefully it won't be too hot or cold in here. But yeah, the air conditioner went in, and then it was only a couple of days before I tested positive for COVID that the electricians actually came and wired it up. So that was pretty lucky, because it would have been unbearable in here. Otherwise, it was 40 plus degrees over Christmas, and in what is essentially a tin shed that got pretty warm, and that made it at least livable. So things that may have changed from last time. You can see behind me, I've got my on-air sign. That was very cool. That turned up and is now screwed to the wall. That's USB powered, so I can actually turn it on. Unfortunately, when you turn it on, it tends to blow out a little bit. Hang on. I don't know how well you can see that, if you can still read that it says on air once it's on, but you know, there you go. It is what it is. I also have my LEDs, and I'll turn those on in a second so that you can see what that looks like. Okay, so now those are on. You can see I've got them set to a nice conservative blue at the moment. You can do stupid things with them. There is a remote control to make them coloured and flash and all of those sorts of things, which I probably won't do, which everybody who's going to tune in and watch this stuff on the channel is probably very grateful for. But it was just very cheap. I think it was about $24 for the LED strips. The channels to put them in, the diffusion channels, they're aluminium. They were about $9, about $9 a meter. So yeah, they're just screwed to the wall, and the LEDs are stuck inside those, so they just help diffuse it a little bit. I also have a new desk. You can probably see my ONEX desk here. That replaces the 30-year-old white melamine desk that I had for years and years. That was water damaged, but that's done very good service. So hopefully I'll get plenty more use out of this. While I was stuck in here for COVID, was using it as, like I had my laptop in here, I was using that to communicate with the world, and decided I probably needed some monitor stands. So I bought some monitor stands. This one's got my laptop on it, and this one, which I'll just swing in. Oh, no, I can't. It's got a great big monitor in the way that's threatening to wipe out that camera. So yeah, that's allows me to use this as an editing station. What it does do, though, is get in the way of this being used for its primary purpose, which is, this is meant to be for live streaming and for filming, for live unboxings and those sorts of things. So yeah, I don't know whether the monitor stands will stay and go. I might move them further around the desk a bit, just to give me a bit more room, but I need to be able to get cameras and lights in here. So speaking of lights, I mentioned in the last update that there was a couple of different lights that had come in. So I bought some Neewer lights, these ones here, which are long LED panels with 36 LEDs in them. And these I thought might be good to give a nice even spread of light for miniature photography. So if I turn it on, there you go, you can see the light panel lights up. That actually pushes out quite a bit of light, so that's actually quite nice. The other one is I bought a set of diffused LEDs. So this is a 135 watt photography bulb in a holder, and over the front of the holder goes a diffusion panel. So interestingly, 135 watt lights were less bright than I was expecting. But with the diffuser on, they do give a really nice diffuse light. So that should work for filling in my face and things like that. Again, while I'm filming here, I'm just under the standard lights, the fluoros that, or the LED fluoro replacements that I put in already. So they actually give me not a bad result, but I need to work on what the lighting's going to be like here. What else did we talk about? There's a few other things that have turned up. I haven't mounted the Ethernet infrastructure on the walls yet. I need to do that, but one of the items I needed to do that has just arrived, and that's a little hutch. So I'm going to mount stuff on the wall and then put it inside this little enclosure. So that way it's all tucked out of the way. And I've also bought a whole ton of cable channel to hide all the cables, so there's not sort of cables nailed to the wall everywhere. So once I get those cable runs sorted out, that's fine. But in its current form, the studio is pretty much ready. There is still no carpet on the floors. That's something I can save up for and do something about later. I've increased the amount of acoustic panel on the wall, so that's at a point where now it extends out so that you can't see it once I'm in shot. So you can't see the edges of that, which is great. That's probably good enough for me to shoot with. The shelving behind me is set up. At the moment, there's a bunch of random stuff in there because I'm still decommissioning this place from when it was my home for a couple of weeks. So there's little bits and pieces of leftover stuff there, plus a television I was using because there wasn't a television in here earlier on. So yeah, COVID was fun, had a very, very mild dose, but you can probably hear I'm still a little bit chesty, so I've got a very persistent cough and a little bit of fatigue, but my dose of COVID was incredibly mild. So a few people in the comments for other videos have said they were hit much harder. So yeah, thank you for everybody who expressed their concern, but I did it. You know, I had somewhere to isolate in, my symptoms weren't terrible, and I'm almost back to normal. Although COVID brain fog is real because I tried to write some scripts while I was locked in here with nothing better to do for the T64BV and the BMD and things like that. Yeah, that's not my best work in terms of writing. I've gone through and re-edited all of those. So yeah, COVID brain fog stops you doing a lot of stuff. And yeah, it does persist a little bit. As it stands, the studio is functional. It's not finished. There are more things I would like to do. There are more things I would like to get finished. There are still a bunch of things that are on order from Amazon that are slowly coming. Hopefully they will be here soon. I actually want to make an overhead camera rig, so I've ordered another monitor stand, another monitor arm that hopefully I can fix onto the side of the desk here that will come up and I can shoot some stuff overhead. That will allow me to shoot stuff like this. So at the moment I have problems shooting big box stuff because when I put it down, there just isn't, like, I've got to put a camera like up here and I don't have a good mount for that at the moment. So Benjamin, if you're wondering, that's why this hasn't been reviewed yet, but that stuff is all on order. I do have a jury rigged thing I'm going to try probably next week, which might work. Otherwise, I'll wait for that to turn up. But if anybody doesn't know what this is the Chinese language starter for Team Yankee, World War III Team Yankee. And that's been put together by Blitz and Pieces in Singapore. It's West German versus East German. So you've got East Germans with BMPs, T-55s and T-72s, and you've got West Germans with not very many tanks at all. You've got 3 Leopard 2A5s and 3 Marder 2s. But that's meant to be a starter set. You get a download for the simplified Chinese rule set, and we want to take a good look at this because this is as a starter set, this is a lot of fun, whether you speak Chinese or not. this is actually a good way to get a whole bunch of East German or West German stuff on the table if that's what you want to do. So where are we going from here? The studio is currently pretty much operational. So I need to get in and actually do stuff like live unboxings. So for example, I have had the Comet Armoured Squadron sitting here on this shelf for months now. It finally arrived. The Australian distributor got some in. I got it in before Christmas and I haven't had a chance to look at it. We've been doing fun stuff with Red Dawn and looking at all the VDV and that sort of stuff. But I really like, there are some very, very good products in here that I just have not had a chance to look at. So what I'm actually going to try and do is, like I did the Red Dawn unboxing, I want to take this box set and actually unbox it here on the table live so that you guys can go through it with me. Okay, so again, this is a little bit of a test. I am still dialing in, so I've got a nice headset now for the lav mic for my microphone setup. So I'm really hoping when I come back and listen to this that this is dialed in reasonably well now. You may remember from the previous one that it was only recording onto one channel and it was a bit overmodulated, and yeah, I'm hoping I've wound it all back down enough that we've got the technical issues sorted for that. So if that's the case, I will do this very, very soon, where I just sit here and pull it all out and we'll look at it all live and have a look at the Comet, the Sexton, the Challenger, the Ram and the Archer, because they are all really nice kits that I want to get a look at. So as I said, pardon me. Oh dear. So as I said, I have written scripts for T64BV, BMD, the VDV infantry box, a bunch of other Red Dawn stuff. The thing I am waiting for is for this chest to clear. So I sound not bad, but I do still have coughing fits, and I've done all the filming. It's all laid out on timeline. What I need to do is to be able to sit down and record the voiceovers, chop up the voice and get that down. So today I am sounding much better already. So we should be getting onto that soon. So anyway, this is the update. This is my studio now, pretty much operational. It's ready to rock and roll. So I think I'll be doing a live stream with Modeling for Advantage on the 31st of January. And we'll be talking about Berlin Soviet and all the things that have just been announced for that. And there's some fun things coming up, so join us for that. We are also going to do another Table Ready live stream. We will get together, Adam, Christian and I, and we might even have a special guest, and we will cover another topic on Table Ready. So you will see more and more of this studio as we get it organized. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy these construction updates, and I hope you've enjoyed following along to see how the studio has progressed. If there are any substantial changes, I might do another video just wrapping that up, but to be honest, I think it is mostly finished. So anyway, I'll see you later. Thanks very much. Bye.